Hello and welcome to CloudSpeed by Deloitte. In this regular podcast series, we'll delve into the world of cloud, answering some of those tricky questions, getting to grips with all that cloud has to offer, and keeping you up to speed on recent developments. So let's begin, shall we? Here's your host, Adam Gorguri.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to CloudSpeed by Deloitte. I'm Adam Gogarty, Chief Strategist and a Director in our Cloud and Engineering team here at Deloitte, and I'll be your host for this episode. So cloud spend is quickly becoming one of the biggest, if not the biggest, third-party IT budget line item for organisations. So how are those organisations making sure they're getting the expected value out of such large investments? How are they making informed decisions on how and where they invest? How do they even know if they're being efficient with those cloud investments? Many organizations have turned to the practice of FinOps to address these points. So today we're asking ourselves, what's the value in FinOps? To help us answer this tricky question, I'm delighted to be joined by my esteemed colleagues Avishek Swain and Rebecca Wood. Hello team, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello Adam, and hello to all the listeners. I'm Avishek Swain, Senior Manager in Deloitte Cloud and Engineering team. My background is in cloud strategy and cloud financial management, focused on cloud business case and FinOps. Have led multiple large-scale cloud migration and transformation programs. I also lead our UK and EMEA FinOps community. In my role, have been predominantly focused on supporting clients in their cloud journey, either it being adoption of cloud, application migration, or optimizing their cloud environment. Excited to be here to talk about this topic. Thanks for having me.
Hi Adam, thanks for having me. My name's Rebecca and I'm also a member of the Cloud and Engineering team at Deloitte. I've been working in the cloud performance, risk and cost sector for 7+ years now and specialise in supporting clients with enabling best practices and governance as part of cloud infrastructure management. My true passion is around FinOps, so really excited about today's podcast. FinOps intertwines with so many other topics, and I'm especially interested to see how advancements in AI and the ethics of AI will drive change in this space.
You can't have a podcast without referencing AI, can you? Thank you both for joining. I'm so excited about this episode, particularly given some of our sort of recent work together. So Rebecca, why don't you kick us off? FinOps is increasingly becoming a hot topic for many organizations, but just help our listeners understand, what is it?
Absolutely. FinOps is definitely a hot topic in the world of cloud computing. At its core, it's a framework that helps organizations optimize their cloud spend and manage cloud costs effectively. The key to its success is promoting collaboration between finance, operation, and the engineering teams. It's not just an amalgamation of finance and operations, like a lot of people initially think, but rather finance and DevOps. Traditionally speaking, finance was the gatekeeper of IT spend, but now it's the engineers who have the controls, so things have to change. FinOps ensures all teams have their needs around cloud spend met and have clarity on their responsibilities to make it happen. For example, ensuring product owners have visibility and are accountable for their cloud spend will support the finance team in their budgeting responsibilities. Cost optimization is also a key capability in FinOps and is often a primary driver of implementation of FinOps, as it promises direct cost savings, so the savings immediately. FinOps means organizations can move beyond simply reacting to past overspend and rather proactively implement good practices from the initial phase of product development and beyond, creating a long-term solution to manage cloud costs optimally. Gartner predicts this year's cloud spend to be over $600 billion worldwide. As cloud spend continues to grow, implementing FinOps is becoming increasingly important to organizations looking to stay competitive and maximize their ROI. However, it's important to note that FinOps is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Organizations need to tailor the framework to their unique needs to make it effective. There is a really good material available to support this process. One example being the New Focus project, launched by the FinOps Foundation, which provides an open spec for presentation of cost and usage to enable uniformity and reliability of data. In summary, the adoption of FinOps is an exciting development in the world of cloud computing, and it is clear that it has the potential to revolutionize the way organizations manage their cloud costs. With the right approach, it can provide significant cost savings, increased visibility, and a better understanding of the value of the cloud.
You've got to sort of pinch yourself when you think $600 billion. Yeah. If you just think about how that sort of global spend has increased over even the last probably 1 or 2 years, let alone sort of 5 to 10, it's just such a huge space now. So thus, FinOps is important. I guess, why all of a sudden is everyone talking about FinOps, Abhishek? What are our clients trying to achieve in this space?
I think this is a good topic and have been discussed multiple times in multiple forums. But what we have seen is cloud adoption by organization has seen a constant growth of approximately 20% year over year. And the public cloud revenue has almost doubled in last 3 to 4 years, as per the latest Gartner's report. It's also forecasted that the enterprise IT spending on public cloud computing would overtake traditional IT spend by 2025 compared to approximately 40% in 2022. So that's a huge shift which is coming in the future. If you look at numbers, 90% of the enterprise customers have already adopted public cloud. And due to low level of FinOps maturity, organizations are leading to wastage of cloud spend. Also, as Rebecca mentioned in her initial talk, the disruptive forces of AI can further shake up the cloud market in the next year, which can lead to higher growth and higher cloud spend. So all factors combined have interested enterprises to look into whether they're using cloud in the right way, being optimized in terms of spend and efficiency, or will need extra effort. I would say organizations are thinking in the right direction. If you look at Deloitte's last 5 FinOps engagement, we observed that 15% of average cloud cost optimization is possible. We have also seen this cloud spend savings ranging from 7 to 45% depending on the maturity level of an organization, typically looking into waste management, consumption management, and purchasing best practices. Majority of the business operating on cloud now have cloud optimization as one of their top initiatives because cloud ROI has today become a topic of conversation. To withstand this current economic environment, companies are making clear and simple moves to cut cost, build value, and increase productivity. Now, moving to what are the organization facing challenges as they migrate or build business functionality on cloud. Some of the key challenges organizations are currently facing. Firstly, the flexible pricing model and on-demand consumption has led to variable spend on cloud, driving requirements to react to change in spend patterns in real time. This also increases the need for FinOps that will help in improved visibility and accountability for cloud spend. Secondly, is around accuracy in spend predictability. Understanding future demand drives commercial options selected with the different cloud providers. Use of on-demand versus subscription options such as reserved instances or committed use discounts, which is critical to gain cost efficiency. And organizations are unable to have better predictability due to inefficient planning and forecasting. One of the important parts from which needs to be looked at is IT DevOps and FinOps team in an organization needs to operate more efficiently together to enhance the agility of the business and proactively monitor or react to cloud spend. We all know complexity of cloud provider services and pricing structure and billing methods increases the necessity for enhanced mapping of organizational data to cloud provider bills. With introduction of focus initiative will ease the understanding of cost and usage patterns across multiple cloud. Lastly, one of the strategic challenges at the organization level is the need for expert talent to drive this forward. So in essence, even though more than 70% of enterprises see cloud spend optimization as a major goal, however, realizing value still remains a major challenge.
That's really interesting. So, Adam, we're seeing that FinOps isn't just restricted to cost reduction, is it?
Absolutely not. I suppose the adoption of FinOps is obviously a really exciting development in the whole world of sort of cloud. And it's clear it has this potential to revolutionize the way that organizations therefore manage their cloud spend. And whilst cost optimization is obviously a significant driver for FinOps implementation, the framework itself actually offers many benefits just beyond cost reduction. And so what I'm seeing, I suppose, is this shift towards cloud native and product oriented ways of working has accelerated the adoption of FinOps. The shift towards a sort of you build it, you run it, you pay for it model is actually really prevalent at the moment. And organizations are realizing that the traditional IT financial methods that they had in place are just no longer sufficient. So one of the key benefits of FinOps is that it enables organizations to gain a better understanding of the value of cloud. And this goes beyond just looking at the cost of cloud infrastructure and instead focuses on how cloud is contributing to overall business outcomes. And another benefit is that it promotes collaboration between teams, and it creates this culture of accountability and transparency, which is really, really important. And so by optimizing cloud infrastructure, organizations can free up resources that therefore can be used to support new projects, innovation, delivering new products and services faster, which is really important at the moment. So what I'm seeing is that FinOps is therefore working alongside sort of other engineering and business metrics to provide this overall lens around the value of cloud. And it does this by integrating that financial data with other metrics, and it helps organizations to therefore make data-driven decisions that balances cost and or economics with performance, sustainability, availability, and so on. And so in essence, there are many benefits and factors which are driving the adoption of FinOps. Yeah, at its core, this is however generally driven by the need for more meaningful insights to make those better decisions about where to allocate resources and investment. And with its many benefits, FinOps has therefore become an essential framework for organizations looking to remain competitive or optimize their cloud spend, better serve citizens if they're in the public sector. And obviously you reflect on that and you think, well, that's all great, listeners. But Avishek, perhaps you can sort of share how far organizations are actually getting in their FinOps journeys.
Definitely. Our experience engaging with clients from various sectors, we have seen it's not uniform. Whereas some sectors have been doing a great job in terms of maturity, and majority of the industries are still at a very initial stage or a crawl phase. Most of the organization in the drive to shift to cloud have run into high cost without leveraging the value of cloud. There could be many reasons behind it, such as not having appropriate cloud financial management capabilities in place, or quick migration to meet business timelines and goals. Taking lift and shift approach instead of modernizing their cloud solution where it can add more value. For example, the healthcare industry, which has been among the fastest to shift in the cloud during the pandemic. So now, if we talk about sector who have been doing well are the technology sector who have been successful and been able to efficiently manage the cloud by improving operational efficiency through multiple factors such as automation, usage of cloud native services, applying well architecture principles, and FinOps governance from the initial days of cloud. The primary reason for this sector, I would say, is being able to do things correctly, is having the right talent. Also, the nature of business drives to incentivize being more proactive when operating on the cloud, leading to overall business growth. So when we look at other sectors, they have not seen the need for at scale FinOps capability until the cloud spend has reached significant level, have delayed established mature cloud financial management practices, such as having granular visibility into cloud spend, governance, forecasting, and optimization. As per the FinOps Foundation recent survey, large proportion of members felt it is a one-person show, and the mindset and perspective have started to change now. Also, as per the same survey, it reported only 13% of the organization are at the most mature level, which is the run stage. So such organization with higher maturity level have leadership buy-in along with implementing multiple other initiatives and alignment with their existing frameworks, which is important. But on a positive note, most enterprises have secured good negotiated agreements with cloud providers due to their high spend commitment forecast and has been dealt well by their procurement teams, but struggle to get product and engineering teams to act towards optimization due to competing priorities. So overall, FinOps brings great potential in future for organization to mature and enhance their capabilities to optimize their cloud environment. So Adam, how are we helping our clients?
I was really smiling when you talked about the sort of one person show, and I think that's actually one of the key areas that we're helping our clients on, because you absolutely don't deliver FinOps practices with sort of a one person show in the center. It's sort of the anti-pattern actually. And so I guess from a FinOps perspective, we've been really fortunate enough to support clients end to end in the design, the delivery, and where required, the operations of their FinOps capabilities. And I guess as a premier partner for the FinOps Foundation and a certified service provider, we do have this full suite of sort of capability. We can help clients wherever they might be in that journey. If they're really early, that might be with the upfront planning for cloud. That could be the development of the overarching cloud business case, cloud provider selection. You might even be around sort of the FinOps strategy and the operating model. But I guess fundamentally, where we're finding clients needing our help is across sort of 6 key domains in FinOps. Firstly, that's about understanding usage and costs. That typically includes the design and implementation of a tagging strategy, consolidation of data sources, visualization of spend, and then handling some of those shared costs, which are sometimes a bit difficult to handle. Then often it's about supporting real-time decisions. That might be the management of anomalies. Then we're often going into optimizing cloud usage itself through the practice of cost-aware architecture and putting in some of the governance or the capability to support that, better workload management. And a key bit really is around tracking and benchmarking the performance down to the unit cost level. That could include forecasting, that could be supporting budget decisions. I think you mentioned earlier about getting better discounts through commitments. Absolutely, rate optimization through commitment-based discounts, be those just standard SKUs or with an enterprise agreement. And then finally, the really important bit of all of this, which is the alignment of the organization for what is a federated FinOps operating model. Really being clear on what are the roles and responsibilities from central teams to product teams to finance and so on, and establishing some of those chargeback mechanisms to really put the accountability to where the spend's being generated from, educating teams, enabling them, and setting some of the policy and the governance and the guardrails for sort of good FinOps practice. And so in addition to those key 6 domains, we often do call on the broader set of knowledge that we've got here at Deloitte. That might be accounting, tax, advisory, it might be software asset management, all in the aid of helping our clients to practice better FinOps. But I guess looking ahead, what is next in the world of FinOps, Rebecca?
Yeah, so the future of FinOps is looking very bright, and there are some really exciting developments in the horizon. So things like Gen AI, Green Ops, and Cloud Unit Economics. Starting with Gen AI, for those in the know, it's an incredible tool, fairly recent to be available mainstream, that is used to analyze and manipulate large quantities of data very quickly. We're seeing some great use cases for it in FinOps, including reporting, automated forecasting, and cloud accounting. A really good example that I think of, and that I see a lot of clients looking for a solution to, is using Gen AI to support the creation of a more accurate forecast. Gen AI can be used to analyze and interpret real-time cloud data and future cost-impacting factors like expected growth, business cases for new applications, and expected cloud optimization to create more meaningful forecasts. It can consume more data and make assumptions based on the information you provide it, so that your forecast is no longer limited to trend-based forecasting or huge amounts of manual analysis. Interestingly, the move to more advanced analytics means that closely related topics and metrics can be monitored and analyzed alongside financial data. So we're seeing things like GreenOps, which is a new term and the latest to join the ops, and has the objective of building a credible and robust IT sustainability strategy. As many organizations are aiming for net zero, often with ambitious deadlines, we expect to see sustainability metrics being embedded more and more into the FinOps framework to support these new business objectives. On to cloud unit economics. As just mentioned, we're seeing organizations be more ambitious and trying to go further with measuring the cost of their IT infrastructure. They want to be able to measure the true value of cloud more accurately and faster. With unit costing, a unit measure of consumption for cloud services can be measured per unit of production of a product or service. This creates a metric that enables like-for-like comparison, removing ambiguity in decision-making. This can be particularly complicated endeavor and is definitely a capability that is a space for future development. Based on the State of FinOps Survey 2023, carried out by the FinOps Foundation, the majority of organizations are currently fairly low in the maturity of this capability, with 67% of responders still currently being on the crawl stage. There are so many examples of what organizations are likely to prioritize next in the world of FinOps. I definitely think this is an area to keep an eye on. Any future development is going to be closely linked to business needs and advancements in analytics and AI technology.
I'm so glad you mentioned my favourite topic of cloud unit economics. I'd recommend listeners definitely Google that if you're that's a new space for you. But alas, listeners, that brings us to the end of our discussion in this CloudSpeed episode. What a great discussion we've had. On behalf of our listeners tuning in, thank you for your insights, Rebecca and Abhishek.
Thank you, Adam, for having us. It's a pleasure discussing this topic.
Yes, thank you, Adam, and thank you all for listening.
As part of our endeavour to keep you up to date with developments from the major public cloud providers, this week we have Satish Natarajan, AWS Ambassador. Over to you, Satish.
Thank you, Adam, and hello to our listeners. This week, we will bring you cloud updates from the recently concluded AWS re:Invent conference. AWS emphasized enhancing performance, reducing costs, improving ease of use, and ensuring reliability in its offering this year. The primary focus of re:Invent 2023 was indeed on generative AI, marking its growing importance. AWS CEO Adam Silipsky noted that the development of Gen AI is still in its nascent stages, indicating ongoing innovation and growth. AWS is adapting to a changing customer environment by prioritizing direct user productivity gains through software enhancements. So, let's dive straight into the biggest announcements this year, starting off with Amazon Q. Many existing generative AI chat applications don't know your data. They don't even know your preferences. Amazon Q is a new type of generative AI assistant that is specifically for work and can be tailored to you and your business. Amazon Q can help you get fast, relevant answers to pressing questions, solve problems, generate content, and take action using the data and expertise found in your company. Amazon Q is available as a service inside Amazon QuickSight, in Amazon Connect, and inside your favorite IDEs such as Visual Studio Code and JetBeans via AWS Toolkit. In addition, Amazon Q Code Transformation, which is currently in preview, enables you to refactor, modernize, and transform your code and automate actions such as upgrading from Java 8 to, say, Java 17. Next up is Amazon Aurora Limitless Database. Amazon Aurora Limitless Database is also currently in preview, is a new capability supporting automated horizontal scaling to process millions of write transactions per second and manage petabytes of data in a single Aurora database. Amazon Aurora read replicas allow you to increase the read capacity of your Aurora cluster beyond the limits of what a single database instance can provide. Now, with Amazon Limitless Database, it can scale write throughputs and storage capacity of a database beyond the limits of a single Aurora writer instance. The compute and storage capacity that is used for Limitless Database is in addition to and independent of the capacity of your writer and reader instances in the cluster. Next new announcement is Amazon Elasticache Serverless for Redis and Memcached. A new serverless option allows customers to create a cache in under a minute and instantly scale capacity based on application traffic patterns. Elasticache Serverless is capable with two popular open source caching solutions, Redis and Memcached. Elastic Serverless constantly monitors your application's memory, CPU, and network resource utilization and scales instantly to accommodate changes to the access patterns of workloads it serves. You can create a highly available cache with data automatically replicated across multiple availability zones and have an uptime of 99.99%. This saves time and money. With its offering, now AWS enables you to create a truly serverless solution with compute, database, and caching all having serverless offerings. The final one I want to discuss is Amazon S3 Express One Zone Storage class. Amazon S3 Express One Zone is a high-performant storage class designed for consistent single-digit millisecond data access within a single availability zone. S3 Express One Zone can enhance data access speeds by 10x and reduce request costs by 50% compared to S3 Standard. While you have always had the option to choose a specific AWS region for storing your S3 data, S3 Express One Zone can select a specific AWS availability zone within an AWS region. And that's all the cloud updates for this episode. If you're interested in similar topics, why not read some of my blogs on LinkedIn? Follow me on www.linkedin.com/in/N Satish K. That's www.linkedin.com/in/NSATISHK. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Satish. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you've enjoyed listening. If you have, please do share this podcast with your network. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn at Adam Gogarty and check out our website at deloitte.co.uk/cloud. Until we meet again, I'm Adam Gogarty and you've been listening to CloudSpeed by Deloitte.